Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Let's Create. I'm Jennifer Merle Hampshire, and this is the Whispers in Ink channel. And you guys, I have something that you may not have thought about in a little while, but it is super duper fun to be able to pull out your Stampin' Blends and do some basic things. So you don't have to be super talented in regards to the coloring and the layering, which, by the way, you can do it because all you have to do is practice and throw the stuff away that you don't like. And that's okay. Here is what I want to talk to you about today. Today is all about taking a simple piece of vellum, Oh, and you guys, I forgot to take my camera ready. A super piece of vellum, and using this to create a jar. So, let's not panic. We're going to grab our Stampin' Blends. And you guys, it doesn't matter what color you use. Do you want a jar that looks red? Do you want a jar that looks blue? Do you want a jar that looks pink? Do you want a jar that looks purple? Now, for me, I'm thinking that I actually want mine to look like water. So I'm actually going to grab my light Misty Moonlight. Now, as you can, let me see if I can, there we go. Light Misty Moonlight, for every light there is a dark. Not only that, but then there's a writing tip or a thin tip and a paintbrush tip. This one, we're going to be using the paintbrush tip, and it is, you guys are going to laugh because this is one of my favorite things to do. But it's been a long time since I've done it. Don't ask me why, because I have no idea. But we're going to take this piece of vellum and we're going to scribble. And I mean, seriously, that's what we're going to do. We are going to, and I don't want my jar to look full, but we're scribbling. That's all you're going to do. That's it. That's where our water is going to come in, okay? And this needs to dry for a minute because what I want to do is I want to make it look a little bit darker on the bottom. So I'm going to let that sit and dry. And while I'm letting that sit and dry, I'm going to take my Quiet Meadow. Oh, no, it's not called Quiet Meadows. What's it called? Yeah, Meadow Dies, which is from the stamp set that coordinates is Quiet Meadows. I'm going to take this, and right here. I was going to say, where in the heck is my Take Your Pick tool? You could use your brush. I did not. I left it over by the big cut and emboss. This die cut set, you guys, is perfect for the mini. It's actually one of the die cuts that's bundles that's on sale. And we're going to pull out, I know you're asking me, Jennifer, why do you have two of these? Well, we're going to layer these. I'm going to pull the stems off. And yes, I'm going to cut the stems off. And we're going to add those to the Evening Evergreen. This is Polished Pink that I'm using. And we're going to grab our snips. Just a glass jar for trash. And we're going to pull this apart. And I'm just cutting them all off. All the pieces. I think this part I'm going to leave. You guys, I like to fussy cut, but I like easy fussy cutting. So, and we're going to... Now, it's probably best, what we're going to do is I'm going to lay this out so I know where it goes. because I don't want to get confused, because, you know, it's easy to do that. There we go. And then this one, we're going to... that piece. And this one, we're going to make it all one piece. This flower piece. And this one, we're going to get up here. And we're going to do the same thing here. Get up there. And then all that's going to be garbage. So I think, yep, I think we're ready. I'm pulling this back in, you guys, and I'm using my paintbrush end again. And I am adding a little bit. And if you go super fast, you get those bubbles. And to me, I like that, because to me, that looks like water. All right. I could have put dimensionals back here, but I think we're going to, you know, the foam adhesive sheets, we could have done that, which probably would have been a fun idea. But we're going to keep it simple. Keep it simple. All I'm doing is covering, this is why I'm using the glue too, covering up the tips that I think would be flowers. Super easy, right? A little bit of glue. You could do your adhesive sheets on this too. That probably would have been a better idea. Fine tip glue would work on this too, if you have that. Lots of options for adhesives, you guys. And yes, I have all of those. But you know what? We all have glue. And, oh, yep, silicone craft sheets is definitely a good idea for this. Because then we don't have to worry about getting glue everywhere. This one, I think we're going to put the glue on here. Like that. And that way then, what I can do is I can use my take your pick tool, pick that up and put it exactly where I want it. Yeah, you know, you guys, I am a little slow sometimes. Make it easier for ourselves, right? I learn as I go. Take advantage of, you know, my crazies and learn from my mistakes. It's not actually a mistake, just a different, something different. All right, so we got, I don't know if this is going to be visible in our jar. I think it's probably going to be. We're going to put this in here. And here's the other thing, you guys. I am not super duper worried about rounding out the edges because nature is not perfect. Nature goes with it, and that's what we're going to do too. You get a little bit too much glue. No worries, that's why we're using the silicone mat. All right, should be our last pieces here. If you want to cut it closer to your little flower heads, that's fine. It's your project. Do as you wish. All right. And that's a nice thing about the silicone craft sheet, you guys. Even if you get a little bit of glue behind, you don't have to worry. Easy peasy. All right. I think you can usually tell if you're dry because you you can see the bubbles and it looks glossy. My other suggestion is go all the way across. I think this is all going to be dark. Change my mind. All right, so that's drying. I have my piece that I cut out of my for my evening evergreen, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to make the top of our jar. And I'll explain to you why I'm doing that in just 1 second, and this has something to do with it. I'm just saying. All right, so we've got that drying. We've got this drying here. You know what, you guys? I didn't measure this. I grabbed it from my bin. That's perfect. So we have this, and I'm going to be using, this is a basic, or I say basic vanilla, but technically it is very vanilla. Once they change basic white to basic white, everything is basic. Basic black, basic vanilla. So, all right, so I've got my polished pink. I want to stamp off because all I want is a little bit of something something for this. And we're going to do that there. And that's it. Just 3 little stamps. And now I'm going to use the Quiet Meadow stamp set. And I'm going to do this thinking of you. And we're going to do that in the evening evergreen for our stamp. And I'm going to end up putting that down here towards the bottom. Super juicy stamp, so don't press too hard, Jennifer. There's that, thinking of you, in the pink. Our blue is dry, so we're going to bring our jar punch in. And we're going to cut that. Now, if you want to stamp this with the actual jar stamp, you could. I just want the look of the jar. We all know what this is, right? And I'm going to glue on this evening evergreen panel. Now, I'm going to glue it to the front of the jar because I don't want to see the adhesive. And I'm grabbing my glue dots. And we're going to grab our, take your pick tool, and we're going to put 2 sets of glue dots on there. And then we're going to flip this over. And we're going to line that up with the top of our jar. Just like that. And then we're going to take our evening evergreen ribbon. And we're going to wrap it. And I am going to wrap it 3 times. 3 times around. I'm going to tie a knot. I'm going to hold that with my reverse tweezers because I want to also add in a little itty bitty bow. Just like that. ribbon scissors. Now this is where 2 pairs of reverse tweezers would be a good idea. I didn't grab my other ones. But if you only have 1 pair, your knot's going to stay pretty tight. Go ahead and put your little bow in there and hold that in place so that you can, and that's all I did. Just like that. It's holding it all together. And then I'm going to tie my new knot. Easy peasy. Oh yeah, maybe. Just like that. Now I'm flattening out the sides of my bow so that it doesn't look all curly. Come on. There we go. That's the look I'm looking for. Just like that. So I'm going to tie this in a knot, super tight knot, just like that. Leaving the ends. I like tendrils, you guys know that. That's probably a little bit too long. There's that. So here is our water jar for our flowers. I'm going to glue on our flowers. Excuse me. Glue on the flowers. And I'm going to put this like that. And then I'm going to use dimensionals on that. Maybe. I guess we'll have to use mini ones. And because I'm using the minis, I'm going to use a couple extra. We're putting the minis at the top of the jar because that is where our cardstock, our green cardstock layer is, so that you don't see dang it. Well, look what we're gonna have to do, you guys. I didn't, oh, that's okay, because guess what? We can move that. Remove that piece. That's in the jar. And we're going to cut a little bit of mini dimensional here on the fly, you guys. We're going to put our little mini dimensional on here. And we're going to tuck that in the jar, just like that. There's our front. Take our glue. Put this on our card base. And you could, if you wanted, you could sponge the edges. I want to keep this super simple. Just like that. So, easy card, easy design, fun idea, super fun idea, you guys, because look at how simple that is. You got out your little bit of coloring that you were able to do. You've got a pretty ribbon on there. Now the only thing we need is some rhinestones, which of course I didn't grab. Easy, easy. Oh, I just dropped them on the floor. Grab our take your pick tool. So we're getting both large and small sizing, and there you go. That's it. How easy is that? All about the gorgeous card. Isn't that pretty? Quiet Meadow to the rescue. There you go. So, if this is something that interests you, I'm going to put a link in the description below after the video about all the products that I used so that you can not only be able to recreate this card, which super easy to create, and so that you can take advantage of the 20% discount, you guys, because the die cut set is 20% off along with the stamp set. The mini cut and emboss is also 20% off. So if you have any questions about the fun technique that we did too, which is the Stampin' Blends technique, super easy, you guys. You can also go ahead and use the host code up there, and you can put your order. But here's the most important part. You guys, if you liked this video and the card that we created, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell. And then, of course, check out my blog, which the link will be in the description below, so that you don't miss out on anything. I do hope that you have a great day getting crafty. And, of course, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys!